Today, I am here to take you along with me and share my 2024 wrap up. I enjoy so much watching these videos from all my other friends that are makers as well. It's so much fun to see what they created the entire year and the wear, how it held up, if they like it, if they didn't, the modifications, the yarn, all that good stuff. And so I was really looking forward to recording this for you guys and sharing all about my makes. And I am so excited because this year I truly feel that everything that I made, I really truly love and wear a lot. And everything has held up so beautifully. So I am really excited to share everything that I've made. I'm Liz, and this is Love of Fibers, and this is a knitting podcast where I share my love for all things knitting. And if you're new here, welcome. I have been sharing for the past year and or year and maybe 2 months or something like that here on YouTube. And basically I just share my love for knitting, whether it's yarn, patterns, all the projects that I make. Let's start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing one of my pieces that I love so very much. This is my Doppio sweater, and I just adore this sweater. I love the feel of it. I love how it turned out. I have not stopped wearing this, you guys. I love it. I love how it feels like a warm hug. It's winter here. It's freezing. It's really cold. I am in New Jersey, in the tri-state area, very close to New York City, and it's just freezing. Today, I don't know, hopefully the video doesn't pick it up because I can't do anything about that, but the sustained gust here is insane. It feels like 7, and I think the sustained gust is like 25 miles per hour wind. So the phone, I'm recording on my phone, it might pick up that kind of sound in the background, but hopefully not, because it's so strong that it just comes in through like the windows and the sliding doors. But anyway, let's get back to this. I am loving these warm, cozy knits that I have because I'm really using them in this cold weather. And this one, I just adore. I knitted this one up with a couple of friends in a kind of low-key knit along where we knitted up the Doppio sweater, and we also watched Gilmore Girls at the same time. So that was really fun, and everybody's Doppio turned out so beautiful. I made this sweater using a very special yarn to me, which it is the Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls collection from Sorella Yarn. I love the way she dyes the colors. I love her collections. So I was super excited when she launched the Gilmore Girls collection. They were also beautiful. And this is the Stars Hollow, which I love. It's this gorgeous speckled yarn, and I bought it in one of my favorite bases that she has. This is the Cashmere Sock, and it is a fingering weight yarn, and it's just beautiful. So it's like this gorgeous kind of cream color with all these beautiful little speckles of brown and a mustard color, and blue is just beautiful. And the idea behind the Doppio sweater, if you guys don't know, is that you pick any 3 yarns and you kind of create your own fabric, which is super fun. So the coolest thing is to kind of stash dive and just kind of put yarns together and create this really unique fabric. And so I ended up using that was my main yarn. It was my Gilmore Girls Stars Hollow, and then, which is fingering. And then I did a Tosh Merino Light that I had in stash, which is called Nap Time, and also fingering. And then I did a lace weight, which is from Camerose, and it created this beautiful fabric. It's cozy, it's soft, there's no itch factor. I've been wearing it nonstop. I don't wear anything underneath because it's really warm and cozy, and I just love it. The fit is fantastic. So this is a pattern that if you look at my my knitting podcast that I shared this make, I was raving. I love it. I still rave about it. Everyone should make a Doppio. It's fantastic. And the fit is just great. One of my favorite things about this sweater is the compound raglan, which I had never done. And I just love this because it creates this beautiful curve on the raglan increases, and I just love them. I also learned how to do a lifted increases and decreases, which I had never done. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pattern, beautiful sweater, beautiful fade. It's just beautiful. And it's one of my top makes for 2024. So let's get into accessories. Since I'm already wearing this, I'm gonna kind of share all the accessories that I made. And within that is like mittens, socks, and hats. And then we can move into the garments, which are sweaters and a couple of summer knits that I made as well. My first make, like my first hat of the year, is this gorgeous hat that I am obsessed with, and I need to make a few more. This is the weekend hat, and this is from Petiteknit. This is such a good hat. I highly recommend this hat. The fit is great. And if you live somewhere cold, it is such a great hat because this is like triple folded, the brim, and it keeps your forehead and your ears so warm, which I love. Also, because it's like triple folded, it stays in place, which is another feature that I love. I love the top decreases. They're so beautiful. And I made this in Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino and their silk mohair. It was my first time ever knitting with their yarn. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. It was such a beautiful knitting experience, and it holds up so well. I have not depilled this. I have not done anything to this hat, and it looks just like when I made it. I wear this so much, you guys. This is like my go-to hat as soon as it gets a little cold. And it's so funny because like I said, I wear this so much that I was looking for it, and I was like, oh, that's right. It's by my, where I keep like my coat and my gloves and all my things because I wear it so much. I made this in such a gorgeous color, and this is called Pink Daisies. It is so beautiful. I love it so much. This is a great hat, and if you're looking for a hat, I definitely recommend this. This hat is just 5 stars in my book, and I need to make them in other colors. And it is just pretty much a 1x1 rib all the way. So you're knitting that for a while, because let me just undo it so you guys can see. Look, you see that? It's pretty long and it's just gorgeous. And then you just kind of fold it, you know, down twice to create that. And it's just gorgeous. Definitely one that I highly recommend. The next hat that I made this year, it is the Musselburgh hat, which you are probably very familiar with. It has tons of projects on Ravelry. Everybody has made this wonderful hat, and I know why. It is such a fun make. And if you're looking for something that will keep you entertained, you know, just knitting without having to think or stress out, once you set up that initial crown, you're good to go, because you're knitting in the round for a while, and it's just a tube, and it is so mindless, so relaxing. It's a small project that you could take with you anywhere, you know, while you're hanging out with friends, having coffee, chatting it up, because you don't have to think. And until you get to that length that you need to kind of then do the decreases to close the other side, which is another crown. Because basically this hat, like I said, it's a tube, and I'll undo mine so you can see. And look how cool. It looks like a pill. So you have 2 crowns, you know, one on each end, and you're going to fold them in. And you can wear this hat as a beanie, like a slouchy beanie, or with a folded brim. The decreases are just beautiful. I just love the top decreases on this hat as well. And it just sits really nicely on your head. I ended up making this with this special yarn that I bought, I don't know, I think it was 2023. I had just kind of started knitting, and I went to Wool and Folk, and Sorella Yarn was there, which I was really excited about. And she was promoting her Autumn in New York collection. And this is the Autumn in New York colorway, and I just love this color. This is fingering, and this is her classic sock, which is merino, superwash, and nylon. And I love it. It was such a nice experience to knit with. It's just really beautiful. Oh, the other thing is that this hat, the reason it's super cool, it's because you don't gauge swatch, and you can use any yarn you have. So basically you're gonna cast on and knit a piece, you know, use the needles that your yarn is calling for and knit up a piece. And then you take your gauge ruler and then you measure for gauge, and at that point, according to how many stitches you have, you then go to the chart and look up that stitch count, and then you go from there, you know, with that measurement. So it's really cool, and I just love it so much and love the construction of it. This is a lighter hat, and because it's fingering, even though it's double, it's perfect for like you know, the late spring, early fall to wear. And I want to make another one in like a DK weight for winter, or even a worsted. That's gonna be a super quick knit and super nice. So let me just kind of like fold that in again for you guys. But it's such a cool construction, and you see it folds in, and it's like a beanie, and you can also wear it, you know, with a folded brim. So you have options, you know, and look how cute the decreases are on the crown. So it's just a gorgeous hat. I love it so, so much. And like I said, I'll link everything in the description below, as far as like the podcast where I go into details of everything with this, and also, you know, where you could see, and I'll put some pictures for you guys as well here. The next thing that I have for you guys are, oh, I am so in love with making socks. I am obsessed. They are so fun to make. You can totally like just go wild, you know, let your creativity just run wild, you know, use whatever colors you want. And it's super fun because there's certain colors or certain like variegated yarns that are a little bit loud, or, you know, that you wouldn't think of wearing it as a garment, but it's so cool to just kind of have fun and make them as socks. And this is Olivia and Oliver Classic DK sock yarn. So it is a blend with the merino and nylon. It's just really beautiful. This was a sock set, and this colorway is called Crisp, and this is called Chestnut. And I just love this pattern that I use, which is my go-to DK pattern. It is from Summerlee Knits, and I just love her. I love all her socks. I ended up getting the sock project book, which is one of my favorites, and I highly recommend it if you really want to get into socks. She does an excellent job explaining everything to you, and the different heels, the toes, everything. It's fantastic. Plus she gives you a lot of patterns, you know, and ideas. So you have like your basic vanilla sock, you also have your basic DK, and then you can just kind of have fun with that. And that's basically what I've been doing. So this is her DK sock pattern, and I just, you know, used it as far as the construction and the cast on stitches, but then I just did my own thing. I here did an afterthought heel, which I love and I'm obsessed with. And, you know, the regular toes, and then I added stripes, and I did a 1x1 cuff, and they're just beautiful, and I love them so, so much. And look how great they wear. I have worn these nonstop. And now these DK waist socks that I'm gonna be showing you, I have not worn them out because they're really thick, and like my boots and my sneakers, they feel tight. So I make DK waist socks to be in the house because my feet are always cold. So my DK socks I wear all the time, but in the house. But they wear fantastic. Look at that. You know, I haven't even like depilled them or anything, and they're just great. I love these, and the color is so beautiful. Let's move on to my next pair of socks, and I love these socks. Look how adorable this is. So again, this is a DK pattern from Summerlee Knits, and what I did with this one, and you see, that's what I was trying to say, you can kind of get creative. So with this one, I did the afterthought heel because I love it, and the same toes, and I did a 2x2 on the cuff. And basically what I did was, it's a 2x2 rib sock, so all the way, but obviously on the foot it's stockinette. And I just love these pair of socks. They're so comfy, they're so warm. I wear them all the time. I have not depilled this either. Look how great the yarn has worn. This is from Sorella Yarn. This was her library collection. This colorway, which is a speckled, I love speckled yarns. Usually when I buy yarn from hand dyer, I usually buy speckled because it's my favorite. This is Memoir. Like I said, it was from a library collection. And then I had bought a set of minis from her, which were the nonfiction minis. And so I just did like one color on the cuff and another color on the toes. And I love these, you guys. They're just great. I love socks. And I love having these as like a little project on the go. I always keep a set in my bag so I can kind of knit anywhere I'm at and they're really great. I started doing that this year, so I was really excited because I wanted to. The first year I started knitting, I only made 2 socks. Well, no, I made 3. One was like a disaster, which was my first pair. It's a beautiful sock, but it was huge. I'm a size 7, and it fits like a size 9 foot. I put them on my husband. They fit perfect. And I ended up seeing that it was a disaster. So I didn't cast on the second one, and I actually frogged that first one. And the yarn is beautiful, so I need to knit up socks with that. But that was my first one. And then my second, then I did 2 more that year. So I only ended up doing, 2 socks really. But this year I was like, I want to make more socks. I love socks. I want to have, more socks to wear. So I'm really excited because I ended up knitting up, I think 5 pair? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5 pairs of socks this year. And so I was really happy. My goal for next year is to knit a few more. So, and just continue to increase them every year because I want to have a really nice, sock collection, And these are just, I love them. Love. And the cool thing is, with these socks, I love the socks even more because I actually knitted these while doing my Europe trip. I went this summer to Spain and to Portugal, and so I knitted on them all throughout. And I actually casted on the first one at the airport here in New York City. So great memories with these. I even knitted a little bit at the beach. So just a lot of great memories when I look at these pair of socks. I have a little table here with my knits, so that's why you see me kind of reaching over. But so, okay, these are my first, I had made fingerless gloves last year. I made the penny gloves, which I love and wear all the time. But these are my first mittens, and these are the Tinsel Mitts from Andrea, and they're beautiful. I love them. They turned out so nice and so soft. I used leftover drops Lima in the color chalk from my cinema sweater, and a fun one skein of this random Lang yarn silk mohair, which was fun and had all these crazy colors. I actually bought it on clearance in a bin in one of the yarn stores, and it was just one skein, but the colors I loved, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it because I can kind of do something fun with it. And so I ended up putting it together with that with that drops Lima, and it created this beautiful fabric, and I love them, and they're cozy and warm. They ended up being a little bit too big, even though I followed the pattern to the T, and also for my size, because you do it by your hand circumference. But they ended up being a little too big. And one of my subscribers gave me such a great idea. She told me to add elastic to the cuff, because I kept saying that the cuff, I kept pulling them up because they keep sliding down. So I was like, hey guys, give me ideas of what I can do to fix that. And she was like, why don't you add elastic? And I didn't even think about that. So I am going to order some elastic and add some to it, because that's just a great idea, because everything fits fine. It's big here, so it just keeps sliding down. The other thing is that I love these because I ended up, so every winter, I'm out in the city going to see the tree and going to the holiday shop and just kind of hanging out. And I'm always taking off my gloves or my mittens to take pictures, and my hand is frozen. So because these were a little big, I can totally wear my tech gloves. I have thin tech gloves, so I ended up putting those on and throwing these over. And it was such a cool idea because they don't shift, they don't move at all. And when I take it off, I have a glove on my hand, and I can access my phone and do all the things, and my hand doesn't get cold, and then I put them back on. So I was super happy to have this holiday when we were in the city doing all of that stuff. So it worked out really well, and these are just gorgeous, you guys. I'm telling you, you guys need to make these because they're super fun. And the pattern is cool because it gives you 3, look how pretty they are. The pattern gives you 3 different styles, convertible, regular mittens, or finger mittens. And you can do gift knits because you have, I think 4 sizes, toddler, youth, small, and large or something. So just really pretty and really beautiful. I love these. And it has such a beautiful detail in the front and in the back. It's a slip stitch, and it's just really cute. I love them. So I actually made these again, but I don't have them with me, and I'll put a picture. I made these in the youth size, and I made them as a gift knit. out now for the holiday. So I don't have them with me because I already gifted them away, but I'll put a picture, and they're so cute and they fit so nice. All right, the next pair of socks that I made were these gorgeous. This was my first self-striping yarn. That was one of my must goals for 2024, to use self-striping and make a pair of socks. And I am so happy that the company that I use, this is called Mustache Yarn, and her yarn is just gorgeous, and the feel is so soft, and it's up so beautiful. It feels great on your feet, and I am obsessed with her dyeing style and her yarn, and I am going to definitely buy more of her yarn. These are called, I'm looking down because I have my iPad here. These are called You Had Me at Hello. Isn't this gorgeous, you guys? I love these. And so these are a fresh kind of like off my needles kind of make. And I casted these on. These were my Rhinebeck cast on. And that I wanted to take a small project with me. So I cast something to knit on the bus, on the ride there, and also just, at the festival. And I ended up making one, right? And then when I cast it on the second one, I cast it on, I worked the leg, and I kind of put it, and I started doing the gusset decreases, and then I put it on the side. And I don't know, I got busy. And then when I ended up going back to them, I realized I did the entire sock and everything. And when I tried them on, and thank goodness I did that before blocking, I was like, what is going on? One, which was my original sock, fit perfect, and the other one was a hot mess. And I was like, why is the foot so wide? And so the length was perfect and the leg was perfect. It was like the foot was too wide. I'm like, what is going on here? Why does this look wonky? So I ended up undoing the toe just so I can count the stitches to see, and ended up realizing that I never finished my gusset decreases. So I pretty much, once I grabbed it from my project bag, I kept on knitting without finishing the gusset decreases. So I had more stitches than I needed to have. So, and if you ever done a sock, you know what I'm talking about. The gusset decreases are here. Basically, you do the leg with your stitch count, then you pick up for your heel, and then you're gonna have extra stitches. Your stitch count is gonna change because you picked up for the heel, and so you need to decrease those stitches. So you do that here in the gusset, and so you need to decrease till you get to the original stitch count, so then you can do your foot and everything can kind of match. So that's what happened to me. I ended up missing like 3 rows of decreases, so I had too many stitches. But anyway, so I needed to pull back. I actually did like a little reel of that, showing, the disaster of me like just undoing it because I made that mistake. But once I fixed it, I finished it and blocked them, and they're just gorgeous. So I wore these only once. I really haven't, worn them that much because, like I said, I just finished them, I think in December actually. So, but they're beautiful, and these I'm excited because I made these in fingering weight, so I can wear these, in my boots and my sneakers and stuff because they're so nice and thin. And let me see. And this, what I used was the I'm So Basic, like vanilla sock from Summerly Knits, and so from the sock project book. But I believe she has them also on Ravelry, so if you guys are interested, you can kind of go ahead and look for them. Well, actually, I think I linked them when I added my projects. I found them and I linked them, but so that's easy for you guys to just click on that. But this is a great pattern, and on this, again, I used the stitch count and everything, but then I did like my own thing, and I wanted to do a 2x2 because I love 2x2 cuffs, so I did that. And I did the heel flap and gusset heel, and I love them. They're so beautiful. And like I said, I cannot wait to grab a few more colorways from her to create these self-striping socks. I love Homecoming, and I want to get that pair. Love, love, love. The last ones, oh, and also, that's why I have 5 socks, because I knitted a pair of socks for my daughter. And so obviously I don't have them with me, but I'll put a picture. They're beautiful. And I knitted those up for her in Cascade Heritage sock yarn, which is beautiful. And she wanted plain stockinette, a plain vanilla sock. And I did it with a twisted rib cuff. So it was really pretty, and she loves them. So I don't have those with me. So that was that's why I have 5 socks. So these are the last socks that I made of the year. And I actually I had started this, I think like September, October, end of September, beginning of October. And I just kind of like, I wanted a pair of socks. I don't have any socks, you know, in my bag to go. So I was like, let me just grab whatever yarn I have in stash and create some socks. So I had liked the basic socks from Susanne Muller, and which she goes by Paula Strict. I love her designs, and I loved those socks. So I was like, let me just, I have the pattern, let me just look through stash. I had a bowl of hobby yarn, hobby 8-ply sock yarn, which is actually discontinued from like 2 years ago or something like that in stash. And so it was like DK, you know, it was not DK, these are Aran weight, so it met the gauge for that, for these Aran weight socks. And so I cast it on with this yarn and I made these. So like I was saying, I cast it on like at the end of September. I made one, then I cast it on the other one, and then I put it on the side, and then they just stayed there because then I was busy doing my Rhinebeck sweater. And so now in December, when I finished my striped socks, I was like, wait a minute, I have a pair of socks somewhere. So I was like, I need to finish those before the year end because I didn't want to have a lingering, you know, half-made pair of socks. So I took them, and I actually was so proud of myself because I actually closed the toe 10 minutes before it hit midnight for the new year. So I was super happy. And I don't even think I've shared these on my Insta yet. But anyway, these are like a really beautiful pattern. I would knit them again. It is the first time that I did a short row heel. So that was something that I wanted to try as well, because my goal was to try all the different heels in 2024, and I did that. So I'm really excited that I did that. And now I know how to do all the heels. And I think so, or no, maybe I'm still missing one type of heel. Yes, I think I'm missing one type of heel, which I'll try to tackle in 2025. But anyway, so these are just, you know, a 2x2. You start with a tubular cast on. That's another thing I never done. I always do a long tail. So I did a tubular cast on for these, and these are a 1x1, and then you go into a 2x2 in the entire sock, and then you have the short row heel. It was super easy. There's, you know, I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy knitting with this sock yarn. So anyways, discontinued. It was very splitty, and I did not like that at all. It's nice, it's soft, and you know, it has like a nice bounce, and when you block it, it's really soft and really nice. But I don't like kind of like the stitch definition, and I don't like that it's not a high twist. And let's see what else. So that was the thing with this yarn, but I love the pattern and I love the socks. And the short heel, like I said, it's easy, it's super cool. I don't think I would do this again because this is a heel that I actually have to like look at the instructions, where like my afterthought, my forethought, my heel flap and gusset, I know that by heart. I don't even have to think. So if I'm out and about, I can just do them. With this one, I actually have to like look up the instructions. So I don't know if I would do this again, but it was cool and it was nice to know, you know, and learn. And would I do it again? Definitely. But it's not something that I'm going to be like, oh, let me just put, you know, let me do that heel, because it, again, it's something that I have to refer back to. And so it's not practical for me, where making socks has become very like very enjoyable, very practical, very mindless. I don't have to like look up anything. I know what I have to do. So I love that, you know, it's kind of like a comforting knit for me. And that's the only reason why I say I wouldn't like gravitate to, hey, let me, you know, put in a short heel, a short row heel. But the cool thing with socks is that if you love a pattern, you can totally take it and you can, you know, add whatever heel you want. So that's the cool thing about socks. And so, yeah, so like I said, I made 5 socks this year, and I am super, super proud of myself because, you know, I started with that disaster sock that I told you about, where it didn't even fit me. So I've come a long way, and I love them. And then it was like the one that I gave my daughter. So I'll put a picture for you guys. But look at my beautiful sock collection. I am so, so proud of myself and so happy. And it's one of my favorite things to knit, and I cannot wait to add a few more in 2025. And for the hats, I actually knitted 3 hats this year. So I knitted the weekend hat, which is my favorite, the Musselburgh, and I also knitted in Oslo. And that was a gift knit, and I'll put a picture because I don't have it anymore. I did it for Christmas as a gift knit, and it was just black, and I actually used a yarn that I had never used before. It was the Knit Picks Swish DK. It's a superwash, and it was beautiful, nice to knit with. The only thing, it grows a lot, but the benefit is that once you dry it, it kind of bounces back and gets to size. And the other thing is that I was thinking about that, I think maybe it grew so much for me because I originally kind of put it to soak in water, how I do my woolly knits, and I think that was a bad idea because it absorbed that water and like overstretched. But then I kind of ran and put it in the dryer and it shrunk again. So I think that going forward, anything that I make in that yarn, I just like straight put it in the washing machine and then dry it. And I think that would be best because it's beautiful and it's really, really soft. And I have some extra in my stash so that I need to use up. So it's beautiful. So anyway, so I knitted the 3 hats and those 5 socks, and then the 2 mittens. And I'll put pictures of anything that was a gift knit that I don't have with me anymore. So let's move on to garments. The first garment that I want to share, it is my gorgeous stripe hype sweater. I adore this sweater so much. It is such a beautiful pattern, such a fun make. This is by Kutoba Kika, and it's just wonderful. And everybody that makes this like loves it and kind of makes multiple. I cannot wait to put some other colors together to make this again. And this I made with drops, extra fine. Drops merino extra fine. I made this, and this is 100% merino. But when I bought it, I didn't realize that it was superwash. So it is superwash, but it's not, you know, it doesn't feel plasticky. It's soft. Beautiful stitch definition. It didn't grow like massive when I blocked it. It behaved really nicely. So I have all positive to say about this yarn, and I loved it, and I would use it again. And the colors are just gorgeous. These are some of my favorite colors, which you'll see as I show you things that I've knitted. And I don't know if you've already noticed, like in some of my accessories, but these are like some of my favorite colors. I love browns. Every type of brown. I love, you know, the creams and the, you know, the marsipans and, you know, all these beautiful colors that are light and beige. I love pinks, all colors, all ranges of pinks and of wine, burgundy, those deep, rich colors. So these are some of my favorite colors, and I love the concept of having some of my favorite colors all in one garment. And let me tell you, this yarn wears so well. I have not depilled this. I use it all the time. My daughter has used it, and it is fantastic. It's held up great, and I love it. I love this pattern. I love how fun is these little tiny lines of color that peek through on the collar and on the sleeves. It's like super pretty. The twisted rib, the fit is just great. How it fits. It's a drop shoulder construction, and I just love this. It's so good, and I cannot wait to make another one. And again, everything is in Ravelry. If you guys are interested in like all the details and modifications that I made, was one, I didn't do the waist decreases. I didn't want it to come in like this. I wanted it to be more of a boxy fit, so I didn't do the waist decreases, which I'm really happy with. But I did do everything else to pattern. And I just did a quick change because I realized that I didn't put it on while I was talking. So I wanted to show you guys the beautiful fit. It's just fantastic. It fits like so nice and so well. And so you see what I was saying? I didn't do the waist decreases because I didn't want it to come in. So it's nice and straight, and I love it. And it's just loose. I just love this sweater, guys. It's just such a beautiful pattern and such a beautiful fit. And everyone should make a stripe pipe. And like I said, all the details on the colors are on my project page, so feel free to check that out, and I'll link it in the description below. But I love this, one of my favorites. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, I'm looking at like my knits. I had so much fun this year knitting up all of my patterns because I actually selected pieces that I would wear. I also did colors that I love. And any modifications that I knew I needed to do for my preference, I did that as well. So this year, I just had a lot of fun because I kind of knew how I like things to fit. I know the proportions of my body really well now because of last year's, makes. And I'm just like really happy with everything that I knitted because, you put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money because yarn is expensive. And you want it to fit well and you want to love it and you want to wear it. And I can tell you that I wear everything that I'm going to show you. I love how they turned out. I love the fabric. I love the color. And so I feel so like accomplished this year and so fulfilled with my makes. And that's my goal every year when I knit, to continue to make things that I love, using yarn and colors that I love, upping my skills, and just kind of like at the end of the day, having a beautiful collection that I'm going to maximize and use all the time. So just wanted to put that out there because I don't think I'm going to say, oh, I don't wear this, I don't like it, because I truly love everything that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is my frame sweater, which is by Andrea, and this is the Rhinebeck sweater, and this was my first Rhinebeck sweater. It was also my first Rhinebeck that I attended. It was also my first color work. It was also my first bottom up garment. And there were so many firsts for this sweater, and this sweater is so very special to me for all of those reasons. I have such great memories of, all the things that I did. It is a garment that pushed me to a point that I had never been pushed before in my knitting. And I never thought that I would come to a project where I felt so challenged and so overwhelmed that I actually had to put it in time out and knit on something else. And it was the best decision that I did, just to kind of put it on the side and knit on something else and take a break and then a week later go back to it. I learned so much with this design. I love everything about this design so much, even the challenges. And because I do love a challenge, I love to be pushed. And I just love how this turned out. I love the fit. It's so cozy and so warm. I love wearing it. I love wearing it to Rhinebeck. I love the whole concept of knitting the Rhinebeck sweater and being on the hill with everyone else that knitted this sweater and just kind of seeing everybody else's creativity as far as colors. And so that's one of my favorite things as well. I love the colors that I used for this sweater. Another thing that was my first, it was the yarn that I used. This is from Webb's. It's a yarn store in Northampton, Massachusetts. They have an online presence. They're huge. I believe they're the same as Lovecrafts, if I'm not mistaken. And they are just a fantastic yarn store. But this is their yarn, and this is Northampton Valley Yarns. And it is a worsted 100% non-superwash wool, so 100% natural. The colors are gorgeous. The yarn is beautiful. It's a nice, it has a beautiful stitch definition. It is beautiful to knit with, has a beautiful bounce. The memory is fantastic. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous yarn, and I highly recommend this yarn. I already bought more yarn to make another project for 2025. And I will definitely be making many more projects in this yarn. So if you're looking for a worsted, 100% wool yarn, this definitely, and you get a lot of yardage for what you pay. They always have sales. So it's definitely a yarn worth looking at. And again, everything about this garment is in my project page, so you can kind of get all the colors and everything like that. This pattern is gorgeous. I love this rib detail here. This another thing that I did for the first time, the 3-needle bind off is just a beautiful seam detail, which I love. This is a tubular cast on, which was really cool. And it has beautiful finishes. And it's my first, kind of bracelet sleeve as well. It is such a beautiful sweater. I'm so impressed. When I take this off, I will show you the inside of the sweater. I am so proud of how I caught all of my floats, and it's just a beautiful project on the reverse as well. Okay, I'm back with an outfit change. But before I get into this, I just wanted to show you, look at this. Look how beautiful I cut all of my floats. It's so, so pretty. I am so very proud of the work that I did here. This, honestly, it's one of my proudest makes, and I I can't believe it. I look at this and I'm like, I cannot believe I made this. You know, my first color work, and it pushed me, it challenged me. I'm so happy. I am so glad I stuck through it, and I'm so grateful for this beautiful design that Andrea made, and I just love it. I love her patterns. I actually have a lot of them in my library, because once a year she has a big birthday sale, and I tend to kind of like save what I want, and then I, you know, take advantage and buy. She is amazing. She's an incredible designer. Her patterns are so well written and detailed, provides a lot of instruction and videos. Anything that's complex, she tries to do like a little video for you and attach it so you have it. And so, you know, I appreciate all of those things, but you guys, this is just such a gorgeous sweater. I cannot believe how well I did this color work. There's no puckering on my stitches. Look at my beautiful quilted stars. They're just nice and flat. This yarn is just beautiful, and I am obsessed. I love this sweater so much, so, so much. And I also love everything quilted. So this was just like the perfect garment to make for me. And I just love it so much. Okay, so let's get into what I'm wearing right now. This is my Cumulus Blouse, and this was a recent make. I finished this, I think, in November. I love this top. Everyone has made a Cumulus Blouse, and whoever hasn't made it wants to make it. It is such a classic. It is definitely one to make, to have in your knitted, you know, wardrobe. I want to make another one. That's how much I love this top. It is such a practical, classy top that you can dress up, dress down. It fits really, really nicely. And I use the recommended yarn for this is 2 lace. And so I ended up doing just like 1 strand, because I ended up getting an Aran weight brushed yarn. And this was a gift my husband brought for me from Peru. And I love this yarn. It was really nice to knit with. It's really fluffy, really beautiful, no itch at all. I am wearing it with nothing underneath. I actually worn this already like 3 times. I spent an entire day with this, and no itch factor, and I was indoors, and I just love it. I love the fit. I love the lightness and the airiness that it has. Even though it's warm, it feels very cozy. I love the I-cord finishes. On this top, it was super easy to make. It's a raglan design. Everything was easy. What I struggled with was my I-cords, because I'm a tight knitter, and I kind of forgot that I had to relax to do my I-cord. So one of the sleeves, I couldn't even fit my hand. I ended up having to undo it, and this felt together. So I managed to take some of it out, but then the rest, I was struggling. So I ended up cutting it with scissors, taking it out, and then just doing a magic knot to attach a new ball, and then do the I-cord, and it worked out great. And so I was very mindful, you know, with everything else that I did as far as, you know, the I-cord finishes. But it is just a fantastic fit. I love it so, so very much. I highly recommend this pattern, and any beginner can make this, because it's super easy and it's fantastic, and believe me, you'll get a lot of wear out of it. So I cannot wait to make another one of these, maybe holding like 2 suri. I think that would be so beautiful and fluffy. So that's a thought. Or also like a fingering merino, like a knitting for olive merino that is so beautiful with like their silk mohair. That's a really nice combination. So there's so many ideas, so many possibilities, and I'm all for it, and I need to make another one because I love this. This is my Salty Days sweater, and I love this sweater. I love this design. This is by Kutubakika again. I love her. I love her designs. I own a lot of the patterns, and I cannot wait to make a few more. I actually want to make this sweater again. That's how much I love it. But make it in just like in 100% wool, holding 1 strand. And this one is just beautiful. I made this. I love the fabric that this created, because I feel that It feels a little bit elevated, and I can kind of dress this up really nicely, but also just kind of wear it day to day. For this sweater, I used Universal Yarns Bella Cash. I had never used this. I believe it's discontinued now. And so this is a blend of merino and cashmere. It's super, super soft and beautiful to knit with. And I held it with a Lana Grossa silk hair lusso, and it's like a stellina. So it's like a, you know, like a silver stellina, and it's beautiful. It's soft. It's not itchy, and it just like created such a beautiful fabric. And I love this sweater so much. I love the design. Look at all the it's a fun knit because you're never bored. It's always changing. Look how beautiful the eyelets. Look at this, how pretty the little cables here. It's just gorgeous. And then this ribbing piece, I love this. And you have twisted rib on the cuffs, on the collar, on the hem. I just love this design. The shoulder is beautiful. It's a beautiful, look at this, the shoulder, how gorgeous that is. And it's just a gorgeous design, gorgeous sweater. This is one that I highly recommend if you're looking for like a really beautiful texture knit, because it's really beautiful and it fits really nicely, and it's a drop shoulder as well. And this one, I did everything to pattern. On my second one that I want to make with the one strand, I wouldn't do the waist decreases. I would just do it completely straight, so it could be kind of a little bit boxy and a little bit more oversized. But again, this one I just adore and love. And it was my first time doing something like this, you know, where I learned how to do all these different textures. So, and you know, so it was really cool. Moving into some of my summer knits. This is the Sabai top. And this is by Susanne Muller, which she goes by Paula Strict. And I told you guys that I love her patterns. This top is just gorgeous. I love it. It is a boat neck. It was my first time making, you know, boat neck style garment. And I love the construction of this, the fit of this. At the beginning, when I actually made this, I was kind of concerned because I felt that this was, you know, sitting too high on my neck. But once I blocked it and once I've been using it, I actually made this when summer, like I finished it when summer was kind of over, so I was in fall, and I ended up wearing this twice as a layering piece. I wore it like with a little jacket, like a blazer, and it looks so good. And I also wore it like with a linen white shirt, and it looks so nice, like a linen cotton blend white shirt, and it looks so good. And so once I did that, I wore it and everything, this kind of relaxed, and now it fits even nicer. It's not so high on my neck. And this pattern is beautiful. It's easy. It's fast. It gives you two tops. So one is this one, which is like you pretty much are doing the finishes as you work the top. And the second one, you actually have like a little bit of a rib on the neck, and I believe on the sleeves. And not the sleeves, but you know what I mean, here in the arms and the armholes, the finishes. And I haven't made that one. I only made this one. Like I said, it was already, summer was over. I had cast it on. I wanted to finish it. It's beautiful. This, what I use, which is a beautiful yarn. This is Drops Bell and the color black, obviously. And this is the same. It's kind of like a dupe for Santa's Garn Lina, which I love that yarn. And so I ended up, Rebecca from the Crayabea, she uses Drops Bell a lot for summer knits, and she highly recommended it. So Drops was having a huge sale, and I ended up buying like garment quantity of a couple of colors. So I have some in stash for next summer. But anyway, I ended up getting, I figured that this type of top would be great in a black, because I can kind of wear it a lot and use it as a layering piece. So I'm looking forward to like spring and summer to really get a lot of wear out of this top, because this is just a beautiful, beautiful top. I love it. And I highly recommend this because I am big on like bra friendly tops, and this one you don't have to worry about your bra or anything. It's just like, and it lays so nice. It's such a beautiful, beautiful top, and I love it. And I highly recommend this yarn as well, and it's very inexpensive. So definitely something to look at. Here we have my Anker's summer shirt. I love this top. This is by Petiteknit, and this I made in, again, the Drops Bell. and I just love it. It's like this beautiful kind of like powdered pink, so it's almost like a neutral, so it's really nice because you can kind of like wear it with a lot of things. The fit of this top is so fantastic, and it's such an easy top. A beginner can definitely make this because you don't have any short rows. And so I've heard some people say that, you know, because it doesn't have short rows, it like it doesn't sit well, or it like moves up or something. I'm not sure. For me, it fits fine and it sits fine, as you can tell, and I wear it all day and I am perfectly fine. With this top, it was kind of like and I have like some little shorts and stuff, because I ended up, when I knitted this, I knitted it to pattern, and I didn't realize that it was like too long for me, and it had a lot of fabric, and I didn't want that because like I have a short torso. I'm like 5'3.5", but my torso is very short, and so I cannot have, you know, a lot of fabric. At least that's my personal like thing. I don't like that. So this is like, this length is good enough for me. So I ended up having to pull back all that work that I did to crop it, and I'm so glad that I did, because this is cotton, and it doesn't, cotton over time when you wear it, it kind of like stretches and has give. So, and it doesn't have like that bounce back like wool has. So I didn't want, basically, you know, it was already like here, and then imagine over time it would be like super long. So anyway, I ended up cropping it, and I am so happy with what I did, the length that I gave it. It's perfect. I can still tuck it in if I want to, like a French tuck, into my shorts or my skirts, but I can also have it just hanging out, you know, on top of my jeans, and it's just beautiful. I ended up doing some, I think for the cast on, you can do like a long tail. I ended up doing like the tubular cast on because I wanted it to look really nice and clean, the edge, because it's a ribbed, it has this rib kind of circular yoke here. And so I wanted this not to take away from this. And I'm so glad that I did that, because it's just beautiful and it sits really nicely. The tubular cast on has a nice like structure, and it just sits nice on my neck, and I love it, and I love how it feels. I actually wore this a lot last summer, and I was never hot. I washed it, everything, it doesn't pill, it doesn't like nothing, it's just great. I keep it folded because, you know, again, I mean, all my knits, I don't know if you've noticed, some of them have lines, but my summer knits will definitely have more lines because, you know, they've been stored since summer was over. But I have a cabinet, like a shelving cabinet with a door, and that's where I keep all my knits. And so even, you know, once I wear them, I'll let them air out or wash them if they need to be washed, and then I fold them and I put them away. The ones that I use the most won't have as many lines, but anyway, it's not a big deal. Once you wear it, it kind of like, you know, wears out. But yeah, this definitely, guys, you can make this because it's super easy and the fit is fantastic, as you can see. And this drop spell is great, and you'll get a lot of use out of this Anker top. I love it. I love the fit of it. It's so good. And I think that this round yoke is so good, and it complements so well. So I think this is a definitely like one to put on your list and make for summer. This is the Thea top, and this is again by Susanne Muller. As you can tell, I love her. I love her patterns. She's always so detailed, gives you videos, gives you like really great images of step-by-step of anything that's new that needs to be done. And so I love her patterns. I highly recommend them. This is a Thea top, and this is such a great little top. The fit is so good. And again, bra friendly. I made this again in drop spell, and a neutral color that I can kind of get away with wearing with a lot of things. This is a great layering piece. It looks so good with like my shorts. My linen, I wore this, you know, with my linen shorts throughout the month of August, because I kind of finished it, I think the end of July or something. So I ended up wearing this a lot that hot month, which is August for us, with like my linen shorts, and I was so comfortable. It washes and wears really well. And again, this one I cropped. It was longer, but I knew I wanted to wear it over my shorts, and I wanted it to kind of sit comfortably, you know. And look, I'm here with my high-waisted jeans, and it looks nice. So I didn't want for this little summer top to be longer. So I purposely did that. I kind of cropped it like that for my shorts, and it looks really good. And I'll put a picture so you guys can see how I wear my linen shorts. It looks so good. So yeah, definitely one to make if you're looking for a cute summer top that is bra friendly and it's comfortable. And again, you know, it's not this short. You can make it what the pattern calls for, which is like, I think up to here, a little bit longer. But those are easy modifications, you know, or if you like a crop, you could definitely kind of just do it what I did. Just stop knitting at a certain point that you're comfortable with. It has a small little 1x1 rib on the finishes, and it's just like a really beautiful top. And also it finishes with like tubular bind off, so it creates just a beautiful edge all around your you know, all your finishes, and I love it. It's definitely a great make. I would totally make this little top again in a different color, because I love it. I actually would make this in a different color, in like merino, and I think that would be so pretty. It's a DK, so I would totally like take Knitting for Olive merino, which I love, hold it double, and make this again. And I think that would be such a cute little layering top. Not necessarily for summer, but like I live up north, so like my fall and my spring, it's very comfortable, and I could totally get away with wearing that as a layering piece in merino. But you can also do it in the cotton merino for Knitting for Olive. And that's a yarn that I have for 2025 to try, because I haven't tried and I hear great things about it. So anyway, there's a lot of options, and this is just such a great little make, and I highly recommend this pattern. And my last garment of the year of 2024, it is my gorgeous sweater number 14 V-neck from My Favorite Things Knitwear. This sweater I love. I wear, this was my, actually, this was, so December 31st, I had, and I did the same thing this year, I had yarn picked out to make this and to be my New Year cast on. So I actually casted on this, I believe that night, you know, right before it hit New Year's. And so, and I made this really quickly. I love, love, love this sweater. I wear this sweater so much. It is such a beautiful design. It fits really nice. You know, you could, I wear it. It's really deep, the V-neck. So you always have to wear like a t-shirt or like a tank top or something in camisole, which I don't mind at all. So I love it because in the fall, the weather is fantastic for this kind of outfit. And I wear it so much, or like in the early, in the late spring. And so, and obviously in winter because it's really warm. This is such a beautiful pattern. I actually knitted this in Patton's, what is it called? Patton's Wool Classic Worsted or something like that. It's 100% wool. It's easily found at our big box stores like Michael's and Joann's, and they always have sales. So it's a beautiful yarn actually. And I held it with a beautiful Lang mohair yarn that I had in stash. By the way, that Lang mohair, it is worth every dollar. It is so expensive here in America. It's about anywhere from $25 to $31, a little 25-gram ball that you get like 334 yards. So it's very expensive. I ended up, so I got this yarn by luck because I had no clue. I had just started knitting, and I went to like a yarn store. I'm sorry, I think I have wool on my lip gloss. Anyway, I ended up going to this yarn store, and they had these bins. They were clearance, and they had tons of this, and I had no clue. And so I always think about that moment, that if I would have known then what I know now, I would have bought like the whole bucket. But anyway, because they had enough that it was like you could buy for like sweater quantity in different colors. So anyway, I ended up buying two sets, enough for like to make garments, and then that's it, of 2 colors, and that's it. So anyway, going back to the sweater. So I used that Lang yarn. It was this beautiful kind of like brownish, like brownish kind of coffee color. No, not coffee. Like think of like a latte, like that, like a brown kind of latte. So not deep, kind of creamy. And I held it with this natural like brown from that Patton's Wool Worsted. and it just created the most beautiful yarn. The stitch definition is beautiful. It's soft, it's not itchy, it's wonderful, it doesn't shed. I love a mohair that doesn't shed. That's the Knitting for Olive mohair. It is super soft, doesn't shed, it's beautiful. Like on my pink daisies, I love it. And so the Lang is the same. If I ever come across that yarn on sale, I am going to rack up. So this is a gorgeous sweater. As you can see, look how thick and big the rib is, which I love. It's a 2x2, which is my favorite. The V-neck, again, is a 2x2 as well, folded, so squishy and beautiful. Look at these cuffs, you guys. Look how long and deep the 2x2, my favorite. It's oversized, it's big, it's a drop shoulder. Split hem, first time that I had done that. This was my first drop shoulder as well, my first V-neck, first split hem, and tubular bind off. This is where I learned to rearrange a 2x2 to do a tubular bind off, which was kind of cool. And everything here was like upping my skills, which I loved. And this was such a fun make, such a quick make, because you knit it up on a 6mm needle. And I just love this. I actually want to make, and I'm so happy that I made it in this color because I can use it so much. I want to make the sweater number 14. That is the crew neck. I am obsessed with that sweater and I need to make that sweater. So it may happen for 2025. Let's see. Maybe like in the spring makes or something. Because I already have, and I put together all my stuff for my knitting, my winter knitting plans for 2025. So I need to finalize all my stuff to record that for you guys to share. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to knit that up and to like share with you guys the yarns and the patterns. It's gonna be so much fun. So this sweater, guys, is just, oh my God, it's such a dream. And I wear this so much. Look at this yarn. I have not depilled this ever. It's a year old, you guys. Look, this is like, as you can tell, look at this. Just a tiny little one right there. It makes sense because it's like the look right here, a little bit here, a little bit here, because it's like the end, you know, the cuffs where your hands are always leaning on things, so that makes sense. But look how easy, look at this. I can just kind of pull it like this, and that's it, done. What a beautiful yarn. And this is definitely one that I will buy more of and that I will knit with because I am obsessed. And look at this beautiful halo that this Lang mohair has done to this sweater. I love this sweater. I highly recommend you guys make this. Now, the only thing with this pattern is that I don't recommend it for new knitters, like beginner, not because it's difficult, but because it's not a very detailed pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern, but she's not holding your hand. She's not like detailing everything. You have to already be knitting. You have to know kind of like, okay, oh, she says to do this. Okay, I got this. Because she's not holding your hand, she's not detailed, she's not doing any of that in this pattern. But if you have knitted before, it's super easy and it's definitely worth making because wow, what a dream of a sweater. And like I said, I cannot wait to make the sweater number 14 crew neck. And this is definitely one that everyone should have in their wardrobe because it's so good as a layering piece. And I just love it. I feel like I'm in this beautiful, gigantic, warm hug. So comforting. And again, it's, oh, I love this. I am so very happy, you guys, with my 2024 wrap up, with everything that I made. I get so much wear out of everything, the things that I've, you know, knitted towards the end of the year or like right when summer ended that I don't have as much wear. I still love because the few times that I did wear it, it was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to keep wearing these makes all through 2025. In 2025, you know, that Christmas, the 2024, I got I believe it was that Christmas, I got a sewing machine, and one of my things is that I want to learn how to sew to make some things that I can wear. And so for 2024, I was like, I have to make something. And I ended up getting a free pattern. This is from Rosery Apparel. It's called the Rosery PJ Shorts. And look, you guys, I made these. I sewed these boxer shorts. I cannot believe it. They turned out so beautiful. They even have pockets. And look at this, how beautiful and neat. I learned so much with these little shorts. And I even got some cute little labels and I sewed it in. I loved making these. The only thing is that they're so big on me. So what I ended up doing was I try to cut the elastic really kind of like shorter than what I needed so they could like stay on. But the actual hips, they're huge. But because they're just for like sleeping and being in the house, it's fine. But now that I made these, it's a free pattern, it's great. I know what, if I like, I would make these again, but I would make them 2 sizes smaller. So what ended up happening with this is that in the pattern, she only gives you like the sizes, but she doesn't give you like what the ease is gonna be on each size. So you pick your size according to your hips, and because you don't see the ease, you don't know. Because if I would have seen that this is, my hips are 36, yeah, 36 circumference, I believe. I would have picked, you know, something that would fit me, maybe with like a 4-inch, you know, that if I'm 36, because it's for sleeping and for being in the home, maybe that they would be 40 at the end of making them. So I would have like 2 inches on each side of my hips, and that's fine and that's reasonable. But this is just huge. I cannot even tell you guys. But like I said, I wear them. I'm so proud of them. It's my first actual like sewn make. And everything is so clean and beautiful. The inside, I did such a great job, you guys. Look at that, the finishes on my sewing machine for the inside seam. And so I'm really proud, you know. Look at my little, you know, my pockets turned out really nice too. And so I am really proud of this little make. And I cannot wait to make more in 2025, because I definitely want to sew like a pair of pants or a skirt. That would be like really fun. And so that's something that I really want to put on my 2025 at some point. I don't know, but definitely more sewing projects for sure. Another gift knit that obviously I don't have with me, I'll put a picture, is I made my first baby sweater. The cutest little sweater is called the Lima sweater. It's a free knit, it's a free pattern. And it is this gorgeous little pullover that has like buttons here on the collar. And I love making it. It's a gift knit. I made it in Wool Ease, which is a blend of like acrylic and wool. It's soft, it's beautiful, it's worsted weight. And because it was a gift knit to like a brand new mom, you know, it's easy care. You could throw it in the wash, you can dry it, no problem. And I also made, I'm all over the place. I also made, it's because we took down our tree and we put away, you know, all the ornaments. I forgot to leave those out, but I'll put pictures for you guys. I made the Christmas caramel from Petiteknit, and they're beautiful and quick, easy makes. And I hung them on my tree. And I also made a tiny Christmas sweater, and I embroidered it with a little tree. It's so cute. And I'll also link the podcast where I show them and I talk about them, so you guys can get like a visual, a better visual than the picture if you want to, if you're interested. Those were like easy, quick makes. It was my first time making like tiny ornaments for my tree. It was super fun. I cannot wait to make more next year. I actually did a little video podcast on all the fun Christmas tiny patterns that I found that I want to make for you know, the next years to come. So if you need any ideas, check that out as well. I had so much fun this year, guys, making so many fun things, discovering my, you know, my potential as a creative person, whether it was sewing, knitting, and just like understanding my body, what I like to wear, the colors, the yarns, how they feel. I also loved just in general learning so many new constructions and skills. And that's one of the things that I want for 2025, to continue to grow as a maker. And so, and I say as a maker because I love to dabble in other things, like I crochet, I sew, I knit, and who knows what else. So, you know, I just love making. I love that creative process. It's very satisfying to me. And so I have a lot of fun. And then now this is another creative outlet for me, you know, filming these videos and sharing it with you guys. My love for knitting and for making. And if I can motivate and inspire others to just kind of dive in, don't be afraid. You know, let your creative juices kind of flow. Everyone has the potential. It's intimidating at the beginning, but once you kind of get the hang of it, you're like, you know, it's easy breezy and it's so much fun. And you will be like so satisfied and mind blown when you look at that, you know, that garment, that thing that you made and that you're able to wear. You won't believe it. And it's okay if it doesn't turn out great the first time around. You can either frog it, you know, or rip it back and correct it, or like leave it on the side and move on to something else. And then maybe a couple of years later, take it, frog it, reuse the yarn for something else because you're a better knitter or crocheter, or you know what I mean? So just kind of dive in and go for it, and you will not regret it. It is so much fun. 2024 for me was such a fun year. I loved creating these podcasts for you. I love sharing. I love connecting. I can't believe that I have so many viewers, and that you guys are supporting me, whether it's by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, gifting me patterns, which I love and I appreciate so much. And you know, every little thing counts, as I've learned that all those things make the algorithm like your video and push it a little bit more. So I really appreciate it because I reach, you know, other countries and new viewers. And I am so excited for 2025. I have like all these ideas of things that I want to make, and I cannot wait to share in my upcoming videos all the things, and you know, just have fun in 2025 and put out a lot of fun videos and share with the community all my love and passion for making. So I'm very excited about 2025, and I cannot wait to keep growing as a knitter, as a podcaster, you know, to build this community a little bit bigger, and to make more knitting friends, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Rosery, wherever it is, at Fiverr festivals. It's super fun, and I am so grateful for everyone that watches and supports. Thank you so much, you guys. Again, everything will be in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and let me know if any of you made any of the patterns that I made. And do you love it? What yarn did you use? What do you know, what are your thoughts? Because that would be so much fun to know if any of my viewers made any of the patterns that I made this year. Thank you so much, you guys. Happy knitting. I hope everyone had a great holiday, and let's look forward to 2025. Bye.